Okay, I would like to call the Laverne Youth Sports Committee to order. And before I get started, I'd like to make a comment. If you want to address this committee, please email cpeterson@cityoflaverne.org. That's cpeterson@cityoflaverne.org with your name and phone number, and we will call you back during public comment. And now, Chad, can you take a visual roll call?
Yes, I have Eric Shadrick, you, myself, Robin, Brandon, Lahal, Michelle, John, and Tim.
Okay, great. The next thing on the agenda is the approval of minutes from July 8th, 2020.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Do we have a second? We have a second. All in favor, please raise your hand.
Who was the second?
I was.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I hope John, Tim, and Eric's hands were up, right?
I got
They're up, but I don't.
You can't
Okay.
see.
Hang
I
on
take
to
my
the
hands off the
steering
wheel,
wheel.
I'll crash. I'm trying.
No
Okay,
crash.
the motion carries.
My hands were up.
Item 3 on the agenda is Laverne Sports Organization Capital Improvement Fund, and that's Chad.
We haven't had any change in the balance. We're still at $111,904 dollars, and I know I handed out last time what everybody has in their fund. It's still the same. There hasn't obviously been no leagues as of yet this year, so we are still at the same as we were at last meeting.
Okay, anybody have any questions in regards to the fund? If not, item 4, Youth Sports Project Fund. And we are still in the process and putting details together for that program. So I'm going to table that item and we'll talk more about it at the November 4th meeting. Okay, item number 5, scheduling and field assignments. Chad.
So there's not a whole lot going on right now. AYSO and Club Soccer, they've submitted everything. They are basically good to go once they submit a schedule to me, and I think their club is maybe a week or so off. And ASO, last I talked, was maybe a week or 2 away as well. Little League has been has had a couple of clinics, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, and they're looking to move forward with a few more of those. And for everybody to know too, the city is going to start accepting requests for travel team use. In order to basically move forward with that, travel teams need to basically submit a facility use form, insurance, a roster showing their 51% Laverne residency. They will also need to sign off on the LA County public health protocols for youth sports. And then everything will need to be scheduled through the city as we're working with Brandon. If it's Pelota Park, everything will be scheduled out there. It's a $15 fee per hour and additional fee for lights if they're used. So it's basically everything as a normal travel team use would be. It's just we are making sure they are following the protocols set forth by the county, which means all approved uses for training, conditioning, and skills building activities only. Practices, scrimmage, and games are not allowed.
Question, Chad?
Yes.
Okay, you said sign off on the protocols. Does that mean that they are not required to submit a plan like we all had to?
Well, they would again follow the basically the plan. Like again, yeah, they would have to do something like that. As it's pretty much the protocols are the plan. So you guys, it's a little different than I think with the leagues because it's multiple teams and things like that. These are just one team per. So, but they would have to obviously adhere to that and make sure they're following those rules. So similar to what you're doing.
And they still have to fill out a rental form, correct?
Yes, still have to fill all the required paperwork.
Does anybody have any questions in regards to that?
I have a question for Brandon. Brandon, question for you. So a travel team, say they come and do all the paperwork and they get that all done. Do they come to you first or do they come to the city to do the paperwork, get approval from you?
No, they'll go through Chad first. Chad will have them fill out all the appropriate paperwork. Once Chad and the city approves them, Chad will then give me a green light to kind of coordinate a scheduling of fields with them. And then we'll keep track of the light usage. And then normally the way it works is at the end of every month, I'll submit a calendar to Chad, just so he'll know that when those teams are out there. But I'm pretty sure the way we'll do it this way is probably a little more tight on the scheduling. It just might be the light usage and verifying what that may look like. But that's how that works. And then if and when we get more guidance from the county and we decide to run, let's say, a fall ball league, obviously our fall ball practices or more fall ball camps, Little League will always get a precedent over at the fields, and we'll continue to work. But over the last 4 years, we've always found a way to make it work. So I wouldn't see anything different if this is the route that we go down.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
I'm back.
Rahel?
I had a quick question. With the air quality, are you guys limiting the use or?
Yeah, right now, any of the classes that we have approved as well as the pool, we haven't allowed since I think this Wednesday because of that air quality. So that would make a difference for any use. So right now, I'm expecting at least the next few days to not run anything just because of air quality. So.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? If not, we'll move on to update from committee members. And the first is Rahel Bromeso.
We're trying to move forward, but it's becoming difficult with the air quality with COVID. People are just chomping at the bits to come back. But again, I will wait until the air quality improves before we put anybody in the field. We were ready to go with a limited number of teams to do a test run, and we had to postpone that for at least a week, and we'll see how clearance is for next week for air quality. Otherwise, we have a total of approximately 300 boys and girls signed up right now.
Okay, great. Eric, the Laverne Lasers.
All indications are that we have 8 teams that want to get back out there. Everything has been approved. We are going to have a general meeting to go over the implementation of the protocols. And I would expect to probably see teams out there within the next 2 weeks. Just as a side note, our league is supposed to start October 17th. It was initially scheduled for October 3rd. So they're pushing it out. And I would expect that it continues to push out, knowing that we're entering the twin-demic situation. So we'll see how it all goes.
Okay, great. Brandon.
Yeah, so from a league perspective, other cities around us, Claremont, San Dimas, I know are pushing forward with a modified fall ball season, but they're not going to include any games. They're basically signing up, forming teams, and allowing them to work out. I know that there's been some swirling, around social media about certain leagues starting up, but I mean, they're not starting up. They're basically doing modified camps. The only thing that's different than what we have is that they have an agreement with their cities for multi-teams to be on there simultaneously. Like right now we've got, an agreement to be on there, but it's just with, one small group of 12 kids, but not a team. We're going to have a board meeting and see if that's a route that we want to go. And if that's a route that we want to go down, we will bring that back to the city. As of now, if we can't play games and practice the way that, we want to practice, I don't see us coming back as a league until the possible spring, unless something changes. However, in the meantime, we're still going to look back, offering some of the camps for some of the older age groups, just because it's easier to manage and maintain with that age group. So that's where we stand as of now.
Okay, and you're looking at all age groups, or are you looking at just a majors farm?
Yeah, it's going to be mostly about 10 and up. But, theoretically, we would like to go a little bit higher. I mean, because again, it's easier to manage the distancing and all the protocols with the older kids. The younger ones, it's tough. And then defined volunteers will want to go out and also manage that is tough as well. So we're going to start with the older kids and see if we can find a way to work our way down, but it's a work in progress right now. So unless we get an agreement to come back with multiple teams, there's really no way to accommodate the amount of interest that I know we would see if we were to open up a registration. I mean, Claremont opened it up and they got 250 kids within a matter of 2 weeks to sign up. It's just a tall task to manage that right now. And then managing that with no opportunity to play a game, that would be tough. So I just don't see as a league us wanting to go down that route right now. And then just going down this occasional camp route until hopefully we get some sort of a clearance, and then we can be able to come back full force.
Okay. Michelle.
So we were pretty dead until this past week. We're still dead. We just opened up our athletic registration for athletes to turn in physicals. And we are looking to start individual training, or I should say group training, like the camp method. It's under CIF guidelines, working in pods of conditioning only. And that is hopefully going to start for us on October 12th. And we're looking to we're opening up to most teams to be able to do that. But right now, I think the most interested teams that are wanting to do that is our fall sports right now. So we'll see how that goes.
And that is who? That is football and tennis, boys tennis.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if football's even going to start at that point. I think they were holding off for a little while, but our fall season's changed a little bit. Tennis moved to our spring because now we only have 2 seasons of sport. So our fall is technically cross country, which I know they're really eager to get out there and start running. And then our football, our water polo is boys, and our girls moved from the winter season to the fall season. So they'll be playing together in the same season. And then we have our volleyball and field hockey. And I'm leaving one out, I feel like. No, that's it. Tennis moved out. So, and then all of our other sports will be the rest of the second season. So, and our technical start date is not till the beginning of December. But right now it would just be phase 1 conditioning under CIF guidelines.
Okay, and do we know if when you open the facility up October 12th for the school, that it will open up for the community at the same time?
We are going to hold off for just a couple weeks. We would like to offer that. We want to see how it's going to work out for us right now on getting our team scheduled in the different times, due to the fact that we have to spread them out in pods. So even on the football field, we're talking about 3 to 4 pods of 10, and then bringing in another group. We want to try to figure the scheduling out first, and then also coordinate with you guys on how we're going to do. I don't know if it's security, locking up after, and kind of how that's going to work out. And so we kind of want to maybe give it a couple weeks and then definitely open it up to the community if it's running smoothly.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
John.
We are down until fall. We're not going to try anything. It's too hard with the restrictions we have, and we're not sure what kind of interest we have right now. So we're just going to hold off until fall. I'm sorry, until spring. I'm sorry, spring.
Okay. Chad.
I don't really have any sports going on right now. We have our swim team going and lap swim. My next sport would be youth basketball, which I really don't know where that's going right now since it's in a gym. So still just kind of waiting on that. So that's still 3-4 months away. So hopefully know something soon, but
Brandon.
Oh yeah, I was just trying to hold my hand up. I was gonna wait for Chad to be done. But quick question. Going back to the travel thing, what's the timetable that you guys are gonna look to start accepting those?
Anybody right now can start turning things in. Obviously, we'll need to make sure all the paperwork's correct and insurance is all good. And then schedule wise, I'll obviously talk to you to set stuff up to get coordinated. So
just because, I mean, you know, and I know, right? I'm going to get a lot of those emails and phone calls about, hey, I heard this and that. How are we going to go about it? I mean, I like I told you on the phone last week, I don't have a problem working with the handful of the usual travel ball teams in and around Laverne to help them kind of get an acceptable plan prior to getting it submitted to you, so that we're all kind of on the same page, so that we don't have that one team that's going to ruin it for everybody. I mean, basically, that's what
Calls, you can have them direct them towards me, because I can give them basically tell them everything that we need to have before they can even be looked at for approval. So,
well, you're going to want to have them give like a layout, right? A whole, not just
the layout, and then have the protocols, which have to be signed off on as well. So similar to what you guys did.
okay. Sounds good.
Anybody have any additional comments?
I have a question, if I may, along those travel team scenarios.
Sure.
So you're going to require the 51% rule, correct?
Yes.
And I know you'd mentioned that before. Are you talking about per team, or if an outside travel team comes in and they are part of a larger, I don't know what you call them, club or league, then how do you look at that?
It would be at our normal rules. It has to be 51% of the organization. I know most travel teams for baseball are individuals. Not a lot of them belong to a bigger organization. So, but yeah, if they are part of a bigger group, or softball as well, it would be up to the organization. Would have to be 51% Laverne residency.
And those teams fall under Little League guidelines, do they not?
What do you mean by Little League guidelines?
Well, I mean, if Little League is shut down, the leagues are actually shut down in some places. Are not the tournaments shut down as well?
There's I've heard other cities out kind of east are holding tournaments. Some of these teams are going out of state playing tournaments. So that's not
like a governing body to where you're limited to where you can play. So like literally a dad can start a travel ball team tomorrow, buy some insurance, register with USSSA, and they can enter into an unaffiliated tournament wherever they want. It's a lot different than softball. Softball, you know, if you've got a team and you're registered in a certain association or something like that, you really can't play outside of that association. Travel baseball is kind of like the Wild West right now. There are big name tournaments under big umbrellas like USSSA and Triple Crown Sports. But nowadays with COVID, if someone's got open fields and they've got some kind of accessibility in their counties, they're running tournaments and they're making tons of money. It's crazy right now. There's a big tournament in Hemet next week, you know, and they're awful fields, awful areas. But at the end of the day, they're going to get 70 teams over there and they're going to make 40 grand.
Wow.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Okay. Other business. Does anybody have any other business? Robin.
Yes, I just want to say to all of you, I know you're in a very awkward position trying to talk with your parents to explain what's going on, but I want to tell you thank you for your understanding, working with us. Chad and Bill have worked nonstop on questions all the time, even their staff, people calling in all the time. Believe me, our council wants everything open, but in a safe manner. So slowly by doing these things, I'm thrilled about the high school taking those steps to be able to do, sports for those kids. Those kids need to get out. So any kind of conditioning, training they can do, be out in the open, I think that's wonderful. So thank you all. Know that Tim, as our mayor and your council, are behind you. We'll do everything we can. We care.
Thank you, Robin. Any other business?
Yeah, I want to echo on that also. I do appreciate it. This is very trying times for all of us, our staff, and we're all trying to do the best thing for our community and our kids. And I think that the biggest thing right now, and I do appreciate the high school, I do appreciate also the travel ball. I think it's just something else to give us something else for our kids to do, even though it's under a reduced scope. But at the end of the day, we really need to think about the mental stability of our youth and get into some kind of normalcy, if we can even have normalcy anymore for a while. But I do appreciate everybody trying to stick to the guidelines. I know that we would like everything opened up. It's just that we have to follow some guidelines, but also we just need to really think about the stability and the mental stability of our kids. And I appreciate the high school too. If we can open up that track and some stuff for our residents would be awesome, just to get them out. But thank you all. And as Robin said, we're all here for the same goal, is to try to get this thing back open to some normalcy, but it keeps changing every day. So anyway, thank you, staff. I do appreciate it, and all the sports for hanging in here. We will get to hopefully some opening here soon.
Thank you. Public comment, Chad,
I have nobody that has emailed in.
and no phone calls?
Nope.
Let's wait a minute.
Check your spam. Remember, check the spam.
I don't have anything as spam or my
There
inbox.
you go. Great.
Okay. If there are no other comments, then we are adjourned for the November 4th, 2020 meeting. We'll see everybody later.
Thank you all. Be
Thank
safe.
you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thanks for
Stay
everything.
safe.
And Chad, when will their next meeting be?
November 4th.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.